Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. If you do not remember, my predictions for last week was that number 1 would be Paranormal Activity, number 2 would be Jem And The Holograms, number 3 would be Goosebumps, number 4 would be Steve Jobs, and that number 5 would be The Last Witch Hunter. And in traditional box office talk fashion, I completely failed at all of them, 0 out of 5 right for this week. Let's see what happens, shall we? Number 1 at the box office this weekend was surprisingly The Martian, which got number 2 last weekend after Goosebumps. This weekend it beat Goosebumps and made $15,900,000. That adds to a total gross of $166 million. And though I am a little sad that Goosebumps isn't making a lot of money, I am still glad that The Martian is doing fantastic because it is a fantastic movie. Therefore, it deserves all the monies. So yes, if you could already guess, number 2 was the Goosebumps movie, making $15,500,000, and that adds to a total gross of $43 million, and that's pretty good, but it's still $15 million away from its budget of $58 million. I'm pretty sure it'll get there very soon, but I'm a little sad that it's not being a big hit because I thought Goosebumps was a pretty fun movie, but I guess everyone else just wants to see The Martian again. Oh well. Anyways, number 3 was Bridge of Spies. This weekend it made $11 million and adds to a total gross of $32, so it's only $8 million away from its budget of $40, so I'm pretty sure it'll get there in no time. So I guess I was worried for nothing last week, so yay, Spielberg, you didn't make a movie that bombed. Good for you, man. Getting number 4, however, was the new film starring Vin Diesel, The Last Witch Hunter, which made $10 million, and it's on a budget of $90 million, so yeah, I heard that this movie was supposed to start off some kind of franchise. Looks like that's not going to be happening anytime soon. Sorry, Vin Diesel, but at least you tried, I guess? A movie that isn't bombing at all whatsoever is number 5, Hotel Transylvania 2, making $9 million, adding to a total gross of $148 million. And I'm very glad by this, even though it's not as good as the first Hotel Transylvania movie, and though I wish more people would have seen Goosebumps, I am glad that this movie is doing well because it shows that when you support good Sandler films, that they do very well, and the bad Sandler films like Pixels don't do very well. So thank you, theater audience people. At number 6 is the movie that I thought would be number 1, but apparently it isn't. Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. It got number 6 this weekend, making $8 million, and since, according to Wikipedia, it's on a budget of $10 million, so it's definitely not bombing or anything. But if you compare it to the other Paranormal Activity films, this is definitely doing the worst out of all of them. So I guess it's a good thing they decided to end these movies, because clearly no one else really wants to watch them anymore. Boo-hoo. At number 7 was Steve Jobs, making $7 million this weekend, but it was open in a couple theaters for a couple weeks now, so it has a total of $9 million. Unfortunately, this movie is on a budget of $30 million, so it looks like Steve Jobs was a flop, which apparently is really bad because this movie is apparently really good. I still need to see it. I want to see it. It looks terrific, and according to Rotten Tomatoes, it is terrific, but oh well. Number 8 was Crimson Peak. It made $5 million this weekend, and that adds to a total of $22 million, and it's on a budget of $55 million, so there's no way this movie's going to get its budget back, unfortunately, because it looked like it could have been really good, but apparently it's not really good. Oh well, poor Guillermo del Toro. At least you still got Pacific Rim 2. Oh, wait. Sorry, Guillermo. At number 9 was The Intern, making $3 million, and that adds to a total of $64 million. Hey, that's $5 million. That's $5 million away from $69 million, right? 69, get it? I'm sorry. But yeah, still haven't seen The Intern. Don't have much to say about it. Moving on, number 10 was Sicario, making $2 million, and that adds to a total of $39 million. It did get $9 million more than its budget of $30 million, so that is pretty good. This movie definitely isn't a flop, and it was really good, though I'm not so sure why people would want to go see it again if they did go see it again. If people haven't seen it again, then that just proves the theory that this movie is just unwatchable for a second time around. Now, what is surprising is that 2 films that were opening up this weekend bombed horrifically. let's go over it. Number 13 was the Bill Murray film Rock the Kasbah that looked really good, but apparently to Rotten Tomatoes, it's not very good, and it bombed, making $1,509,000 this weekend. And since that's on a budget of $15 million, yeah, sorry, Murray. And thankfully, this movie bombed. Jem And The Holograms got number 15, making $1,320,000 on a budget of $5 million. Even though its budget is $5 million, it'll probably only get like to the $3 million margin, probably. I don't know. But the point is, this movie bombed. Hooray! I predicted it to be number 2, but thankfully, I was wrong. Hooray! Jem And The Holograms apparently is really bad, so that's a good thing. And now it's time to make my predictions for next week's top 5. The movies coming out are Burnt, Our Brand is Crisis, and Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. So I'm going to predict that number 1 is Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Since it is opening a day before Halloween, people probably want to see a good Halloween movie. And I'm going to say that number 2 is Our Brand is Crisis, because Billy Bob Thornton and Sandra Bullock, and I don't know, it seems like a pretty interesting cast. I'm going to say number 3 is Burnt, mainly because the most people I've talked to about it, they don't seem that interested in it, even though Bradley Cooper is in it, so I'm going to put that at number 3. I'm going to say number 4 is The Martian, and number 5 is Goosebumps. But what are your predictions for next week? Leave them in the comments below. And if you got the predictions for this weekend right, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, or you left your predictions the day of the video going up, then you're not getting a shout out, unfortunately. Sorry. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.